What's up, family? Got your little smudgies going. Got a little smudgy going. So we're gonna do a full moon reading. Full moon reading. Actually, do we do full moon or? Okay, we're gonna do an equinox reading because we are coming up on fall equinox. I was gonna do either or, but they're kind of conjuncting or conjoining. So we're gonna do a equinox reading. So it's going to be fall for us in the northern hemisphere, and it's going to be spring in the southern hemisphere, I believe. I don't know. I don't remember a lot of things right now. That's okay. So thank you guys for being here. So we're gonna do an equinox reading. Just want to see what what energies are prevalent, what we're going to be looking forward in the equinox. Just know that when it comes to soul streams, right, that when it comes to soul streams, man, they're getting chatty and noisy right now. When it comes to soul streams, it's going to shift and change. It's going to navigate differently for every single individual, but we want to look at the overall energies for the equinox to see what we're bringing forward for ourselves, what's coming forward for us as a collective. So I want to thank you all for liking, sharing, subscribing, for all your donations and all of that. Thank you so much. I'm definitely happily accepting donations right now because my RV is almost done and I need to shift over to an RV park for a couple of weeks to reset and to rebuild my light body and to rebuild, to just get back on track. So always happily accepted. If this reading resonates and you want to support, please do so. There will be links in the description box for PayPal, Cash, and Venmo. So what's coming forward for this equinox? What's coming forward for this equinox? Oh, cool. Good. Come on. So far we got the Hierophant. The Hierophant. This is definitely a connection to the higher self from within. Going within, trusting your own guidance. It seems like to me, higher selves, multidimensional, interdimensional selves, an activation of us coming into our higher self. This is also speaking right now of a higher order that's happening. Higher order that is occurring. Who else wants to come through with the Hierophant right now? A higher octave range or a higher tonality that's coming through to help us to shift and to embody more of our higher selves, multidimensional selves, interdimensional selves, oversoul. But there's so many frameworks and uses of this. It is no thing outside of you, but it seems that there is a there's a covenant that is working in our highest order and highest direction that's bringing forward this activation. Four of Swords is coming out. Four of Swords 2 is speaking very much so of a time of rest and a time of healing, a time of going within, especially with the Hierophant. I feel like this equinox is going to be a moment for us to just connect to our highest selves, or to our interdimensional, once again, multidimensional oversoul selves, to our soul, to our light body, to go within and to connect at a deeper level. Ooh, Eight of Cups. This is going to be in regards to a journey away from the old. As we're wrapping up cycles from summer it's going to offer us an opportunity to go within and to reflect of those things that we're ready to put down and to walk away from, right? This might actually be some sort of physical motion for some individuals too. Some might feel a call to actually journey in Equinox as we're phasing out of the transition of summer, so summer be summer, winter into fall, spring. There's going to be some sort of feeling of walking away from old friendships, old relationships, old ideologies. Right now is very much so about us dissolving all that. And with the Hierophant at the front of the reading, I feel like this is creating space to embody more of our essence, of our true organic nature, of our multidimensionality, of our interdimensional selves. You know, it's interesting. This might actually even speak of a multidimensional travel. There might be a slip in time going quantum. Okay, this is interesting now, how it's coming through. There's going to be a moment for us over this equinox to really, if we lay down and rest and get our spine flat, it's a great way to break through the linearity and to go quantum. And there might be some sort of interdimensional travel or interdimensional shift that occurs. This is also, could be timeline jumping, jumping through portals. And it seems that it's almost like an initiation sequence. An initiation that's coming through for us. So on that day, yep, okay, cool. On that day, it's going to be about, for ourselves, bringing things into balance, bringing things into alignment with the Two of Cups. There's some sort of emotional balance. There's going to be some sort of clearing that's going to be required of us as we're going through these portals and these trajectories, and we're passing through every stage of the initiation. It's going to offer us an opportunity to cleanse at a deeper level to find what true balance is and true reciprocity. This is, to me, balancing of the masculine and feminine and some sort of karmic balancing, but it's an emotional balancing that's occurring. An emotional balancing that's occurring. This is going to be about forgiveness. Oh, boy. God, I think I got an ant on my ear. Got something crawling around on my ear. Some sort of bug. So yeah, this one is going to be very much so about forgiveness. Yep. Okay. Boy. Forgiveness. Yeah. Walking away from old creations, old ideologies. So it's interesting. I mean, this is how it is pretty much in every sort of transition for ourselves, especially with the energies of the full moon. It's about purge. It's about purge. This Ten of Wands, though, this is going to be about, this to me is speaking of collective worries and the burdens of others, like carrying too much on your back on the hill. This is very much so about a focus of self, contemplation with self, being with the higher self, so we can dissolve all this old ideology. And since Chiron is making a focus here, I kind of see this as a little bit of the wounded warrior, because if you look at the stress of all this that he's carrying way too much weight. And I feel like this is why this could be also too picking up your creations and actually, once again, a travel card. It might be taking all of your creations and putting yourself into a new landscape or a new territory, like a new vibrational stance. It's almost like these wands don't fit where you're at or with what you want to do. And so this might actually require it's interesting. I'm feeling like right now too, this is about actually almost like taking your work outside, shifting where you create, how you create, because it's kind of coming through a little bit like there's a restoration that's occurring, and there's nothing wrong with your wands. They might just not be suitable in the home that you're in, your energetic home, your vibrational home. Your vibrational home. I'm hearing the future is pulling on you. The future is pulling on your skin to wrap up some old cycles. It seems like there's a future timeline. Yeah, I love it. Here comes the High Priestess. The High Priestess. is there's a future timeline that's calling you forward right now, that's calling you forward. The High Priestess is really stepping into your balance, especially as we were talking about balancing certain aspects. There might be actually having to physically walk away, or there might be some sort of action that you need to take. So your higher self is asking you to go within and to find out what you need to let go of, what you're ready to let go of, because you're ready to do this, to invite in new opportunities, right? New opportunities to bring things into balance. And it feels like some sort of like a karmic justice or karmic balance is coming into play. And with the High Priestess, especially since we have 2 2s here, the vibration of 2 is very much so speaking of balance. Well, let's get some more clarity on this High Priestess, though. I want to get some more clarity on this High Priestess. What else wants to come through about this High Priestess? Yeah, okay. So the High Priestess, it's about worrying. It's about worrying. It's like there's some negotiations that are occurring right now in the higher realms in regard to anxiety and worry for your future, right? And I want to see what else comes through. This is really this is about thought. A lot of this is about the mental body and the mental scape. So, releasing those worries. Yeah, because there's a whole new cycle opening up for you. So, it's interesting. A part of this balance that the High Priestess is bringing forward is about this new opportunity and the old worries. So a part of this is, how can we shift and bring our worries, the worries of the past, let them go and merge them with the future the future portal that's opening up. Because the way that the World card is looking back on the 9 of Swords, she's kind of saying, hey, I'm inviting you into a new opportunity here. It seems like whatever the worries of summer or of winter that were going on in our lives, it's an opportunity to shed those and to cleanse those and to completely walk away from those things. Walk away from those things, because there is a new pathway, a new timeline that's opening up for us. Is there anything else that wants to come through? Yeah, I'm hearing drop the game. It's not enough. Drop the game. It's not enough. And it's there's something about exercising caution in our affairs with others that wants to come through. Like there's a new, especially with the new energetic landscape, there's almost like a new, I don't want to say rule book, but there's a new cause and effect when it comes to how we're creating, where we're creating, and the words that we use. Okay, so a part of this amplified energetics and the rapid state of manifestation and in the acceleration, the energies and the threads that we're navigating, that we're pulling through from the higher dimensions, require us to take more time to rest, yes, but there's also some reconfiguration that needs to occur for us to align fully to those, what we would call the higher self dimensions, to the tonality of the higher timelines that are opening up. The higher timelines that are opening up. Okay, cool. Yeah. And it's about looking at the way we have been creating. This is a moment of observation of going, okay, what seeds have I planted? They haven't, some might not have harvested yet, but it's a moment of reflection on how we're creating. This is speaking about how we're using our words right now. Because especially when I was speaking of the creation focus with 7 of Pentacles, it's becoming more observant of our thoughts, of our actions, and of our deeds to humanity with what we are going through. Taking the focus off the worry, letting go of all the worry and all the doubt syndrome, all the doubt and beginning to remember that there's a new pathway opening up for us, and we're building up momentum into that right now. So it's really an opportunity to shift and to shed those layers, walk away from the things of the old, because it really is about bringing things into emotional balance. This is speaking to me of mastery too, with the caduceus right there. It's about, very much so, speaking about remember your mastery. 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 Queen of Wands. I like this. So there is this fiery magic that is coming through to begin the process of stabilizing into this new frequency that's coming through. Queen of Wands is speaking to me of like a mother or a deity energy that's coming through and helping with this, and it's a reclamation of our sovereign magic in the timelines and in the pathways that we are opening up to right now. But it requires a lot of forgiveness, and right now, as we are going through the end of, so at least here in the northern hemisphere, it's been all fiery energy, being in summertime. It's been like the last push of fire before we go into fall, especially being in Sedona. Me being a very fiery in my chart, it's been a lot of fire energy, a lot of purification coming through. So this higher deity is kind of coming through right now, basically stating to remember your magic, to remember your creative abilities, and that the process that is unfolding for you right now is for your highest good, even if it doesn't feel like it in this now moment. Yes, I like this. Nine of Cups, Nine of Cups, Nine of Cups. It's now coming through, speaking about, she's looking at making sure you're owning all the beautiful things that you've done in this world. The way she's looking over at the Nine of Cups is to note that there is a lot of tools that you hold. There's a lot of emotional stability you hold. But right now, with what's coming up with the grief, because the High Priestess is bringing these two things into balance right now. The way that it's laid out on the night side and the light side, or the shadow side, right, is it's speaking about this, how the mind has been possibly projecting worry or fear into the future pathways, and how we can begin to dissolve that. And what the Queen of Wands is coming through saying is, remember this emotional stability that you hold, to be proud of who you are, of what you've built. Because even though you are walking away from some of these old creations with the Eight of Cups, there's still a lot within you, a lot of beautiful emotions to focus on. This is basically now coming through as a shift, right? A shift in polarity, rather than looking at your shadow side, right? Or all the things you did of the past, almost like the echoes of yesterday. It's what you have here in your stability and in your mastery. So there's this sense of reclaiming your emotional wealth, right? Reclaiming, rather than giving the toxic emotions, rather than giving those power, it's reminding you of the tools and all the emotional stability you have built up in this lifetime. Because the one thing I've noticed recently is as we're clearing out all that old cellular memory and all the old cellular programming, there's this like kind of like echo imprint that keeps coming through of like who you were in yesteryear. And right now the Queen of Wands, this deity, is going, no, don't forget, don't, like, clear what you got to clear, but keep your sights focused on your emotional mastery, right? And your emotional well-being and everything that you have built that has been beautiful. So rather than highlighting so much on the negativity or on the fear and the doubt syndrome, right, is like, it's putting your focus and your aim on those beautiful things you built. Because I feel like there might be this energy of carrying burdens from yesterday that you don't need to carry, and it's literally, that's why the drop the game is coming through. It's like, drop it, you don't need to carry that. There's something about this energy of when we're carrying burdens, carrying too much, we feel like we're going to become stronger, like a testing grounds or a proving grounds, and it's like, no, that's bullshit. Let it go, right? Because there's a lot of emotional maturity within all of us. And I almost want to say emotional mastery, that's within all of us. But it requires us to remember and to let go of the guilt, to drop the burdens, to drop the worry, right? Go through the purification that we need to go through, to remember that we do hold a lot of emotional stability and a lot of emotional balance, And, you know, especially with the Nine of Cups too, it's a little bit kind of like, being a little bit of a, okay, so the trophy winner is coming through, because if you see, he's very proud of all of his achievements and all of his accomplishments. And I feel like that's the focus, is because right now when we're going through such a heavy purification and an acceleration, there's going to be this switch in focus that it's to be proud of your awards and your honors. Like, every cup is resembling an initiation that you've passed, right? When you came to this now moment on the earth plane, we've all had to go through various initiations to get to where we're getting to. And this higher mother deity, you know, this higher mother magic, this crone or this maiden, is coming through and going, please look at every initiation that you've passed and all of your badges that you've earned to get to this now moment. Because there are codes, activations, things that you've been through, fire letters that you've reclaimed, soul aspects, things like that. And this is about, yeah, we know that you're going through a lot, and that the collective has been shifting through a lot, right? But it's also reminding us, please focus on all the things that you have built and all of your success, because we want to now amplify your success rate and not keep playing into who you were yesterday. This is feeling very much so like a wiping out of those echo imprints, right? It's the people that keep you into old identifications, systems, groups, beings that are holding you in your lower, I would say your lower self, or your lower third and fourth dimensional self. And now you holding yourself in that higher light and knowing your worth. It's like, know your value, know your worth, know everything that you've been through in this life. Yep. Six of Swords, because it's really time to walk away from those people, places, and things that are keeping you in that old echo patterning, in that old imprint, in that old cellular model, right? The ones that are still thinking of you as the human of yesterday. Because as things are coming up for review, right, as we're coming up through review and we're going through our judgment day and we're going through our, what we would call trials and tribulations in the higher realms, to see if we've learned what we've learned to shift. This might actually require a physical movement for some people. This might actually be a migration pattern, especially as seasons change, just like the birds migrate through the seasons. You might feel called, right? Because at a cellular level, as the sun goes through its changes and the days are getting longer, right? The magnetic poles are shifting a lot. Your true north might shift. Like, you might actually feel like you need to navigate to a new place, a new, the word coming through is hotspot. There's like almost like a new normal to follow now, because there's an old normal, an old thinking pattern, an old timeline, an old pathway, an old version of you that is dissolving right now. And there's a new normal to go find. Finding a new flow, a new trajectory. Yes, a new flow, a new trajectory, because there's a new normal that wants to come into your life to stabilize in this new frequency, especially with the World card here, especially with the World card. So now it's about taking time to dissolve all the old patterns, the old thought loops, the old systems that you exist within, cleansing and purifying. Yep, I love this, right? And beginning to travel into a unified celebratory sense. So the Three of Cups speaks to me of a soul gathering, friendships, celebrating these future timelines, fellow tribe, fellow family, right? And this might be that thought of navigation, is it's time to go find a new spring, to go find a new spring. I like this, because this is speaking of ending an old cycle and really coming into a new level of evolution in ourselves, right? Because the stinking thinking, right? The stinking thinking and how those things loop, because this is kind of speaking to me of a loop right now. How we loop in these thought patterns needs to go, and the High Priestess is coming through, assisting in that. This higher dimensional version of you, interdimensional self that is you, that exists within you, is saying, we need to end these thought loops right now. We need to end these thought loops, because it's time for you to begin putting your focus on celebrating and of unity, and the focus of that, the focus of celebration, the focus of joy, the focus of victory, the focus of victory. Is there any more cards that want to come out? I think we're gonna do one more card. Yeah. Interesting. I feel like I'm hearing lesser known deities or daemons might have been having an effect in this. Yeah. Okay, cool. It's healing the broken heart. I like this. It's healing the broken heart. Healing the broken heart. Taking out all the old wounds out of the heart space and beginning to cleanse and purify the heart. So there is going to be some sort of heart chakra activation, especially central nervous system. This has been affecting me. And so I've been having to work with recrystallizing my central nervous system because of the effect that it has. These swords in the heart are of the past, and it's time to pull them out and open up the heart, because where you are traveling to, where we are vibrationally moving to, is more of a unified celebratory focus in the higher realms, right? The higher realms. It seems that this energy of the Three of Swords is what's been sticking us in the anger and the worry and the guilt. So for some reason, the heart and the mind have been in effect of this. There's something in the heart chakra, even in the physical human heart, that might have been affecting this. And so as we're cleansing and purifying the central nervous system, and you're feeling all that anxiety and stuff come up, don't let the old worries of the future get in the way. So if your central nervous system is kicking up and you're feeling that, like, quote unquote anxiety, don't let yourself get into the worry. Recognize that there's actually it's like, recognize the thought bubble and fucking pop it. Pop the thought bubble, because where we're traveling to interdimensionally is into a place of more unity, focus, and celebration with soul tribe, more soul gatherings, right? Even if it might not seem like it, it starts energetically first, and then that's what kicks up the wheels of the physical momentum in the physical dimension. So it's also too, once again, focus on your achievements. I feel like when we start to amplify the energies of these shifts through Equinox, and that which we put into play through summer solstice or summer winter solstice, depending on where you're at, the more that we amplify, the more that we focus on our success. Interesting. The more we focus on our success, the more it will be amplified. It will be amplified. And then what's going to happen is we're going to help to cleanse more of the mother and father wound from the heart space. It's interesting. There might be some sexual stuff coming up too, since I did say sex. There might be some sexual stuff coming up for people. And I'm hearing Virgo and Capricorn placements. If you've been having that come through, it's for a reason. There's something about creative energy that you're having to look at and having to cleanse and purify. But yeah, so this is really about caring for the heart, really deep self-love. The star card too with the Three of Swords is asking, guys, go into self-love. That's why this sacred retreat is coming through, right? This sacred retreat is coming through. And what's really cool is, overall, once again, the reading has been, it's the Hierophant that is kind of governing the reading. The oversight of this entire reading is that our higher selves are putting this together. Our interdimensional selves are working with us here to bring these energies forward. So there will be heart activations. Heart expansion, a heart purification. This might even require us to the heart core of Mother Earth. There might be some sacred ceremony you can do with getting your heart chakra, like laying flat and getting your heart chakra pulsating with Gaia, pulsating with the waters too. So there might be some plasma heart stuff that's coming up, especially since I'm seeing the water here. Plasma heartbeat, that will help in this. Don't forget to dance in the rain if you've got rains that are coming through. The rains are bringing through purification and an emotional purification. So if you're going through this emotional purification through this, allow the release to go, allow the surrender, release the thoughts and the worries. It's really going to help. Do take that moment, to reflect a little bit on how you can, on where you're creating, where you're seeding, where you're planting your seeds, how you're showing up in the world, right? Because the Seven of Pentacles is not done. It's still on the way to the Ten of Pentacles, right? So it's close. It's almost there. But it's offering you an opportunity to reflect. But try not to get too down and too remorseful over your old seeds. See them as okay, I did this. Now let's shift. Let's shift. Let's shift into a new way of creating, a new way of being, a new way of showing up in the world. Because even though the harvest might not have come out the way that we expected it to, right? This is offering us an opportunity to gain the wisdom from that, re-embody this magic of creation, of our creative abilities, and stand firm, okay? Stand firm in our achievements, because there has been a lot of success in our lives. Now, it might not be a material success, but there's some sort of emotional success. This is a moment to reclaim that, yes, the awakening and the ascension journey is by no means easy, and it has its struggles. Like, it has its struggles, it has its ebbs and flows, it has its peaks and its waves. Just like a wave, it's got a peak and a trough, and it's up and down and all over the place. But the more that we sit firm in our emotional stability through this purification and deep knowing of our emotional mastery, it's really going to help. There's something very much so about emotional mastery focused right now, and in the emotional realms, and this purification of the heart that's going to be showing up for ourselves. Okay, so love you guys. Much love and respect to everyone out there. Thank you so much for everything. I'm really excited to see what comes up through this equinox for all of us. And you know, Hierophant, love it. I love it. And maybe should we go and look into what to see into the future post equinox? I think we should. I think we should, since we're going through these levels of purification. I want to see what we get to look forward to after equinox. So what do we get to look forward to post-equinox? I like it. Very simple. Celebration. Unity. Unity consciousness. Unity focused. So it seems like the pathways that are opening up and aligning for us are going to be more celebratory. They're going to be a little bit more victorious. Right? A little bit more victorious. Interesting that came up again. It seems like there's going to be celebration and review. This to me is speaking of review. So, you know, and that's the thing is right now with the acceleration of the pathways that are happening in the higher trajectories, there are going to be more reviews that are going to be occurring. So we will be looking at more reviews coming up. Past life reviews, this life reviews. You know, this is something that in the acceleration of the pathways that's occurring right now, it's very much so, that's what the focus is. Yep, okay, cool. And the Six of Pentacles. Because this review is going to be bringing in some sort of soul retrieval. You'll be receiving back fire letters, codes, things like this. Okay, so the focus on post, so once we get through this passageway, the pathways are going to be very celebratory, very victorious. There will be some reviews that are occurring, right? And these are collective judgment days, what many might call dark night of the human. Things that we are correcting in our life path so we can get soul pieces back and bring things into focus. Yeah, so there is very cool. It seems like we're just reassembling the pieces of us at an oversoul level, at an interdimensional level, at a quantum level, and I like that. So you know, I feel like through these reviews too, the more that you are going through your life review and you're going, you know what, I don't want to live this way anymore, right? Yep, cool. The Chariot, Page of Swords. This is bringing things into balance. Bringing things into balance. And with the Page of Swords, there's some more youthful adventure on the focus here. I feel like though the Chariot is coming through about there's awakening a new level of our DNA that's coming through. Awakening our new level of DNA that's offering an energetic shift, and I'm hearing a push into new world trajectories, new earth trajectories, higher dimensional trajectories. Thank you. I am still correcting those words. Thank you. Yeah, there's some sort of balance that's occurring, especially with the energy of Gemini here. Energy of Gemini. There might be some twin stuff that's going on. A purification of the twin realms and the twin flame stuff. And with Page of Swords, I'm also hearing about Socrates too. So there might be some like internal debate that's coming into balance. Some sort of internal narrative internal narrative that's coming into balance. It's like, this is kind of speaking to me of like the anarchist, the inner anarchist, the inner warrior, the adventure person. There's some sort of mental body stuff that's bringing into focus, like almost like a teenage rebellion that's coming into balance too. So interesting on the focus. But I like that we are going to be going through more reviews, and that there's going to be more aspects of us returning after these reviews. We just have some things we need to cleanse. So I'm really proud of us as a collective with where we're at, what we're going through. Even myself, man, I'm like, the stuff that's happening through the higher level of initiations, it's bringing up a lot. And this is a this journey is it's getting better and better in every single now moment. And I have to be mindful of those words, but there's also a lot of processes that need to cleanse collectively, individually, in our own lives, right? And as the initiations as we start to move into higher and higher levels of initiation, there is no going back into the old story, and a lot of the stuff that's coming up with the past life pieces that are coming forward, and the old guilt and persecution and judgment records, is that as those things are popping up in our lives and we're feeling them and sensing them, right, is to make sure we recognize that old story is not coming back. So as we're getting the pieces back of ourselves, of our higher essence, whatever we want to call it, our new tonality, of the unified self, the unified soul, and the unified creation, as we're reassembling ourselves back to source, is to make sure that we remember that sometimes the old imprinting, right, the old stories aren't, they're out of date, they're old, and they're not going to come back in, even if we're feeling it. So we have to keep clearing it and processing it at a emotional level. If you need to speak to someone about it, please by all means do. I have to do that sometimes too. A lot of times, a lot of my processing is through my throat chakra. So just keep doing the emotional processing. If you need help, right, like if you're going through some stuff and you got some stuck emotions and you want to just have a chat, please feel free to reach out. I've got donation sessions to help with emotional clearing, processing traumas, processing past life pain as well, because these pieces are coming back of us, and I like that they are. But once again, there's a new unity focus and a new unified pathways that are coming online right now and that are available to us. And so really we have to let go a lot of the old worry, a lot of the old judgment of how we view things, especially when it comes to lesser known gods and goddesses, such as on the night side, shadow side of things, because we are getting a lot of those pieces back of ourselves. And it does require us, as we're becoming more and more empowered, to not judge those aspects of us, and to bring those pieces of us into alignment. So if you got any grief or anything that you want to speak about, or you want to do some emotional processing or unpacking of downloads, please reach out to me. You can reach out to me, foundersoflight@gmail.com. If you do want to book a session with me, I do have sessions available. Some are donations, some are going to be switching to fixed price now that things are elevating and aligning. So please reach out to me, foundersoflight@gmail.com. I would love to help you with a reading or with some energy work, with some light code activations, some DNA activations. Or if you just want to talk and go through some processing, please reach out to me. All right, so here's a little smudgy for you. Cleanse your field, cleanse your multidimensional spaces. Keep your energy fields really clean right now, and try not to attach to any outcomes or pay attention too much to what's going on outside of you. I heard something really beautiful the other day from my mechanic, and he was talking about psychological grounding. And for myself, I was asking him, he's like, right now with everything going on, it's good to psychologically ground. And I was like, what does that mean to psychologically ground? And he said, just focus on yourself. Don't focus on anyone else. And it was really, really nice to hear that, because it was really about making sure that I'm not focusing on the energy outside of me as I'm focusing on my internal world and my internal condition, and to keep reclaiming my sovereignty across all time, space, time, across all dimensions, seen and unseen. So if you guys get those sovereignty declarations, right, as the pieces are coming back, keep reclaiming your sovereignty, keep your spiritual authority, and it's going to get better, I promise. But we are in an accelerated pathway, and we are moving. There's a lot of momentum, a lot of quantum jumping happening, and a lot of new timelines opening up. So let's enjoy the new expression, the new tonality, the new versions of us that are coming through in their state of remembrance. And I would like to offer you an opportunity to enjoy your life again, to enjoy your peace, to enjoy your freedom, and to enjoy your truth, because I'm in the process of doing the same. So much love and respect to everyone out there. I love you all, and I will see you in another moment of the now. And I'll see you soon. Ciao.